There are thousands of seniors in Canada receiving a government deposit every single month, and they have no idea it exists. Not because they made a mistake, not because they forgot to apply, but because nobody ever told them this money was there and that it was meant for them. We are talking about up to $1,100 a month, tax-free, deposited directly into your bank account every single month, 12 months a year. This program is called the Guaranteed Income Supplement, and if you are already receiving your old age security pension and your income is modest, there is a very real chance you qualify and are not getting it yet. In the next few minutes, I am going to explain exactly what this is, who qualifies, why so many people miss it, and most importantly, what you can do today to stop leaving this money on the table. My name is Grace Donovan. I talk about personal finance for people who are approaching retirement or already in it, in plain language with real numbers. I am not here to sell you anything. No commissions, no products, just information you deserve to have. Information that, frankly, the government is not going to call you to give you. And that is exactly the problem. So let us get into it. The Guaranteed Income Supplement, or GIS, is a federal monthly benefit. It is added on top of your old age security pension for Canadians 65 and older who have a modest income. And here is what strikes me every single time I talk about this. Most people who are not receiving it are not receiving it for one reason. They think it is not for them. There is a very common belief that this kind of support is only for people who are, quote, really struggling. As if needing help is something to be ashamed of. As if receiving a government benefit means you did something wrong in your financial life. I want to say this clearly. This program exists precisely because working an entire lifetime does not automatically guarantee a comfortable retirement income. That is an economic fact, not a judgment on the choices you made. And the other reason so many Canadian seniors miss the GIS is even simpler. Service Canada does not call you to tell you that you qualify. They do not send a reminder. They do not automatically write a check to everyone who is eligible. Since 2018, enrollment has been automatic for most new OAS recipients, but not for everyone. If you moved without updating your address with the Canada Revenue Agency, the enrollment letter never reached you. If your income was slightly above the threshold when the system first looked at you, but has dropped since then, the system may not have caught that. If you went through a life change, the loss of a spouse, the end of a job, a drop in rental income, your file may not reflect your current situation. And if nobody tells you the problem exists, you have no way of knowing there is something to fix. Let me tell you about a woman I will call Margaret. That is not her real name, but this is a real story. Margaret is a widow. She is 71 years old. She lives in a small apartment she has called home for many years. Every month she receives her old age security pension, around $700, and her modest CPP benefit. Together, about $1,400 a month. She never worked for a large employer with a pension plan. She raised her children, helped run a small family business with her late husband, and when he passed away 2 years ago, she had to figure out her finances on her own for the first time. What Margaret did not know was that since her husband's death, her income had dropped below the GIS eligibility threshold, and that she had the right to claim it. When she finally applied, with the help of a community worker, Service Canada issued a retroactive payment covering 11 months, just under $9,000 she had not been expecting. And now, every month her income is not $1,400, it is over $2,400. This is not an unusual case. This happens all the time. The only difference between Margaret and someone who never sees this money is that she found out. Now let me give you the exact eligibility rules. They are straightforward. First, you must be 65 or older. Second, you must live in Canada. If you leave the country for more than 6 months in a row, your payments can be paused. Third, you must be receiving or be eligible to receive the old age security pension. And fourth, your annual income must be below the threshold set by the government. For a single person, whether you are single, widowed, or divorced, that income threshold is approximately $22,400 per year for the 2025 to 2026 period. If your income is below that, you can receive up to $1,105 per month in GIS. For couples, the amounts vary depending on whether your spouse is also receiving OAS or a related benefit called the allowance. I will put a link to the official Service Canada calculator in the description. It takes about 3 minutes and gives you your exact number. 2 things that are critical to understand about how this income is calculated. First, your old age security pension itself does not count toward the threshold. You do not penalize yourself by receiving it. Second, the GIS is completely tax-free. It does not get reported as income. It does not get taxed. It arrives in your account and it stays in your account. Now, here are the 3 mistakes that cause people to lose the GIS or never get it in the first place. I want you to pay close attention to the second one because it is the one that costs the most and that almost nobody talks about. Mistake number 1, not filing your tax return. The GIS is recalculated every July based on your tax return from the previous year. That sounds straightforward. The problem is that many lower income seniors stop filing their taxes because they think they do not owe anything, so there is no point. This is a serious mistake, because even if you owe 0 in taxes, if you do not file your return by April 30th, Service Canada cannot confirm your eligibility for the coming year, and your GIS payments are suspended. People lose their GIS not because they became too wealthy, but because they forgot to file a 0 tax return. What to do? File every year, no matter what. If you need help, free tax clinics are available across Canada through the Community Volunteer Income Tax Program. The link is in the description. Mistake number 2, not reporting a change in your situation. This is the most expensive mistake and the least talked about. The GIS is calculated on your income from the previous year. That means if your income has just dropped because you retired, because your spouse passed away, because a contract ended or a rental income stopped, Service Canada is still using your old numbers, and you are paying the price for money you no longer have coming in. Here is the good news. There is a fix. If your income has dropped significantly because of a major life event, retirement, death of a spouse, loss of income, you can request a recalculation based on your current estimated income. You contact Service Canada, explain the situation, provide an estimate of your income for the current year, and they recalculate your GIS immediately. Not next year, now. Very few people know this option exists. Mistake number 3. Assuming automatic enrollment handled everything. Since 2018, Service Canada automatically enrolls most new OAS recipients into the GIS when their tax data shows they qualify. But automatic does not mean universal. If you moved without telling the Canada Revenue Agency, if your income was just above the cutoff when the system first assessed you, if you have gaps in your tax filing history. In all of these situations, you may have been missed. And if you were missed, the system is not going to come back and check on you. You have to check yourself. Here is exactly what to do, step by step. Step 1. Find out if you are already receiving it. Log in to your My Service Canada account. The link is in the description. Go to Old Age Security and then Payment Details. You will see 2 lines, OAS and GIS. If there is no GIS line, you are not receiving it. If you do not have online access, call Service Canada directly at 1-800-277-9914, Monday to Friday. Ask one simple question. Am I currently receiving the Guaranteed Income Supplement? Step 2. If you are not enrolled, apply. You have 2 options. You can apply online through My Service Canada account. This is the fastest route. Or you can complete a paper form called the ISP 3025, available on canada.ca or at any Service Canada office. Step 3. Make sure your tax information is current. Service Canada will use your most recent tax return. Make sure it has been filed and is up to date. If your income has changed this year, Prepare a simple estimate of your current income to request a recalculation. Step 4. Wait for your confirmation letter. Once your application is processed, Service Canada sends a letter confirming your monthly amount and the date of your first payment. Payments begin the month after your approval. Now, here is the part that surprises people most. If you find out today that you have been eligible for the GIS for several months, Service Canada can pay you back retroactively for up to 11 months. Not more than 11 months, unfortunately, that is the rule, but 11 months of GIS payments can mean several $1,000s paid out at once, which is exactly why waiting costs you money you will never get back. Let me leave you with one idea. The GIS is written into law. It is funded, it is waiting for you, but it does not come looking for you. Nobody at the government is going to call you and say, "Hello, we think you may qualify for an extra $1,000 a month. Shall we start sending it?" That is not how the system works. And it is not because the system is designed against you. It is simply because the system responds to requests. It does not generate them. So here is the one thing I am asking you to do today. Call Service Canada at 1-800-277-9914 or log in to My Service Canada account and ask one question. Am I receiving the Guaranteed Income Supplement? 3 minutes, one question, one answer. And if the answer is no, you now know exactly what to do. If this video helped you, please share it with one person in your life who is 65 or older. A parent, a neighbor, a friend from your community. The odds are real that they are in the same situation as Margaret, and sharing this could be worth more to them than any gift you have ever given them. I am Grace Donovan. I will see you in the next video.